Welcome to Oracle Application Express, Apex Regions, Trees. A tree is a graphical representation, commonly referred to as a hierarchy, on a page. One of the most common things to represent as a hierarchy, or as a tree, is a list of employees inside of an organization. One of the most common ways to represent hierarchies is to have a self-referencing table inside of your database. What do I mean by self-referencing table? Well, let's take a look at the employees table inside of our HR schema inside of our database. You'll notice that every employee has an employee ID, but for every employee, except the boss of the company, they also have a manager ID that references the employee ID inside of the table. This is what we mean by a self-referencing table. We can perform a hierarchical query that will list all of the employees and all of their subordinates using this table. Under normal circumstances, we would have to write a very complex connect by query that would allow us to see all of the hierarchies inside of our employees table. Luckily, Oracle Apex makes this a lot easier for us by providing us with a wizard that will do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. Let's hop back into Oracle Application Express, create a new page, and we're going to create a tree. I can call this org chart. And the same thing with region name. Not going to use tabs. I kind of like the classic look, so I'm going to click on the classic template. I'm going to use the HR employees table. I have to specify the ID that I'm going to use, the parent ID that's going to have my hierarchical relationship inside of my tree, the text that I want to see for the node, where I'm going to start building my tree. So the ID that's going to uniquely identify each node in my tree is going to be the employee ID. The parent ID is going to be the manager ID, which is the self-referential key inside that particular table. So for each employee, their parent or their boss is going to be the manager ID. So for employee ID 101, Nina Kokar, her boss is manager ID 100, Stephen King. That's going to be the parent ID for each one of the nodes. The text that I'm going to display on the tree is going to be the last name, and I'm going to start building this where the manager ID value is null. So I'm going to start building the hierarchy with Stephen King, who's the boss of the company. And I know he's the boss of the company because he's the only employee who doesn't have a manager. I can specify a where clause. I can order siblings by different criteria. I can specify different attributes for my tree. Since this is all pretty simple, I'm going to leave all of the defaults and click Create. When I run the page, you can see that I have an organization chart that automatically constructs the hierarchical representation of what my company looks like. So the following employees all report to King. Cambrol. Let's sort by manager ID. So all of these employees have 100, which is King, as their manager. So we see Combrault, Dihan, Erazuriz, Fripp, and you can see how it's building this for us automatically. Nina Kokar has the following employees reporting directly to her, anyone who has a manager of 101. So we have Whalen, Marvis, Greenberg, Higgins, and Bear. So when I click on the plus sign next to Kokar, Bear, Greenberg, Higgins, Mavris, and Whalen. And you can see how this very complex query gets built for us automatically. Trees are a real simple way to show the hierarchical relationships inside your organization. They're also commonly used to show complex products inside of an inventory environment. A product that's sold may be made up of numerous parts that are put together and then sold as one unit. Each one of those subparts may be put together from other parts, so you can have a hierarchical relationship of products that your organization sells. It's a real common use case for trees inside of Oracle Application Express.